I was drowning in debt.
I had over $36,000 in debt.
If I would have just made the minimum payments, it would have taken me 59 years to pay off.
National Debt Relief can significantly reduce the amount you owe.
National Debt Relief reduced my debt by over $27,000.
With National Debt Relief, you have a powerful team that knows how to talk to your creditors.
National Debt Relief, they got me out of debt.
Call or visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started.
Tomorrow on ET, we're with Austin Butler reteaming with his Elvis co-star Tom Hanks.
You hear him laugh down the hallway and you go, that's Woody. You know?
Y'all know I love me some Austin Butler. Can't wait for that. Now, before we go, by now, you heard Michelle Williams' viral audio.
Happening now.
A third arrest made in the murders of Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra. Police believe the third suspect is related to the two that are already in custody. Coming up, we'll tell you why they think she's involved in their murders.
A petulant child with a psychotic lust for blood.
The father of a man murdered back in 2022 facing his son's killer in court today. It's an emotional victim impact statement. We'll have that coming up.
An Arctic cold front is still slated to head our direction early next week, but before we can get there, we've got some patchy morning fog tomorrow, plus gusty winds on Friday to talk about. We'll get you all those details in a few. The news at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, the much talked about third person seen in a surveillance video in the Soto Guerra double murder now identified and arrested. This is 47-year-old Mirta Romanos. Police say she had a crucial role in the case and lived with Roman and Christopher Preciado, the two main suspects. The investigators say they have evidence now that she helped to clean up the crime scene.
The police also believe it was her gun used to kill Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra. Our Daniela Ibarra was there as police took Romanos to jail. Daniela, what did the families tell you?
Well, Stephen Ursula, I called both Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra's family as soon as we found out about the arrest, and they both sounded surprised and told me they didn't know this was happening. Now, San Antonio police, they say they brought her in this morning, Mirta Romanos this morning, and as police walked her out to the police car, she kept her head down, didn't say a single word. Police say that she played a crucial role in the murders, but they didn't have the evidence to make the arrest until today. Her arrest warrant describes how Romanos claimed to be at the home sleeping the night of the murders. Now, that night, Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra were both shot in the head after a drug deal gone wrong. Once police zeroed in on Christopher Preciado as the gunman and his father as the man in the surveillance footage, that police searched her home, and that's when they say they found a gun that Romanos admitted was hers. She's also believed to be the person in the surveillance tape giving a towel to Ramon as he allegedly cleaned up the bodies.
They've developed enough evidence from surveillance video from the home showing her leaving with the two. She gets into that truck, and then when they return to the home, it's her, Christopher, and Ramon in that truck.
The surveillance video has been a key piece of evidence for police. It's what led them to Christopher and Ramon Preciado and now Romanos. And like you heard, police believe that they're all the ones in that black truck. Now, Romanos, she is facing several felony charges, including abuse of a corpse, alter, destroy, and conceal of a human corpse, and tampering with evidence. And police say they are confident there are no more suspects in this case. We're live in downtown San Antonio. Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Daniela. We are still waiting, though, to hear if yet more charges could be added to the case. So plan on keeping informed through KSAT 12 on all of our platforms on air, KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and on the KSAT YouTube channel.
I forgive you for what you've done. I earnestly desire for you to be with my son Michael in paradise one day. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
A father today forgiving the man who killed his son. Matthew Wiesing was actually sentenced to 40 years per a plea deal for the 2022 murder of 23-year-old Michael Ichanes, who was a local teacher and a coach. Eric Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom as the sentencing took place.
There was still some blood on his school lanyard and his coaching whistle. You murdered my son in cold blood. You crushed my whole family in blood.
John Ichanes giving a powerful, more than 20-minute-long victim impact statement in the murder case of his son, Michael Ichanes. In March 2022, Michael, a Great Hearts Forest teacher and coach, was shot several times as he was leaving his apartment complex. The man charged with his murder, Matthew Wiesing, The motive? Matthew wasn't happy his ex-girlfriend had moved on and had begun dating Michael. Wiesing today, per a plea deal, getting 40 years in prison, did show some remorse.
How sorry I am for what I've done, and that I very much hope that the pain I have caused so many people, especially Michael's family, can, with time, heal.
In the end, despite his grief, John told Matthew that he did forgive him and even offered him a gift.
I mentioned that Michael wore a blue rosary on his wrist, just like this one. I would like you to have this. And I know even if you can't take this particular rosary with you, you're going to a dark place, and I hope that at least the prayer can be a light in your darkness.
There was not a dry eye in that courtroom after that emotional speech. As for Wiesing, he will now be transferred to a Texas prison. He is eligible for parole after serving half of those 40 years. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
A man is dead after crashing into a construction crane early this morning. The crash happening on Loop 1604 and I-10. It happened around 2 in the morning. According to San Antonio police, the man was driving on the loop when he came upon an off-duty officer's vehicle. It was blocking traffic because of construction. And they say that he drove around the vehicle and that crashed into a crane. The impact tearing the roof off of his vehicle. Officers say that the man died at the scene. Police say it's unclear as to why he drove around the off-duty vehicle. Right now, some of the top Republican presidential hopefuls are preparing to appear in their final debate before the Iowa caucuses. 3 candidates qualified, only 2 accepted. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley.
Our Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook joins us live from the spin room of this debate with what's at stake this evening. And Julia, we also understand there's some breaking news involving candidate Chris Christie.
Correct. Good evening, Steve and Ursula. I may be in Iowa, but I have been tracking this breaking news out of New Hampshire. Just moments ago, former New Jersey governor and GOP presidential hopeful Chris Christie announced that he is suspending his campaign. During his speech to New Hampshire voters, he did not go ahead and endorse anyone. Instead, he spoke about how he believes that Trump is unfit to be president and called on other candidates to call him unfit. Now, this just raises the stakes here at the debate tonight for DeSantis and Haley, who will be looking to gain support from Christie's supporters. This is the final debate before the pivotal Iowa caucuses that kick off the 2024 election contest. The final countdown is on. With the Iowa caucuses just 5 days away, GOP candidates are fighting to stand out in the crowd.
I'm the guy that will get this done for this country.
If you join with us in this fight, I promise you, our best days are yet to come.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who are polling in a distant second and third in the Hawkeye state behind former President Donald Trump, will face off in a televised debate tonight hosted by CNN at Drake University.
The question right now is, can Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley, can they step up and overperform in the Iowa caucuses?
Political science professor Rachel Payne Caulfield says tonight's debate could have a big impact.
We still have a number of undecided voters, and so in these final 5 days, I think that the debate becomes even more important in those final decisions.
Trump also qualified for this debate, but is once again skipping the opportunity to take his competitors head on.
We have to win this, and I think we're going to do it. I've never seen spirit like this.
Instead, he'll be nearby participating in an Iowa town hall hosted by Fox News. You know, I will say I am very grateful to be here in the spin room tonight. It's really cold here in Des Moines, and winter weather has caused these candidates to miss some of their scheduled campaign events. Bitter temperatures are also expected on caucus day, and that could impact voter turnout. Now, after Iowa, it's on to New Hampshire, and New Hampshire is where Chris Christie had more support and where these candidates could really see an impact with him stepping away. Reporting live in Des Moines, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, I get what you said, Julia. Better to be in a spin room than out in the snow. Election season really off and running right now. DeSantis received the endorsement of the Iowa governor. Nikki Haley received the endorsement of the New Hampshire governor. Some big names have been showing support for Trump in recent days. Can you shed some light on the strategy there?
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of these endorsements coming in for Trump from various members of Congress and from governors. He also has the support of all of the House GOP leadership, and the number 3 Republican in the Senate announced this week that he would be supporting Trump. Now, this is all kind of a part of the Trump team's strategy to see how many big names they can get behind them before the Iowa caucuses. In fact, sources familiar with discussions tell our team that Trump advisors are kind of quietly telling some Republicans that they're taking note of who's endorsing Trump pre-Iowa and post-Iowa.
Very interesting. Julia Benbrook reporting live from the campaign trail in Iowa. Thank you.
To guns now. Over 3 years, more than 25,000 guns have been stolen from vehicles in the Austin, Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, and San Antonio metro areas. And according to local law enforcement, more than 3,100 guns reported stolen just last year.
But a new Justice Department partnership with local police aims to tackle that alarming trend before the guns are used in violent crimes. Max Massey with law enforcement leaders who insist most of the gun thefts could be prevented if owners simply took some precautions.
Well, that kind of just adds salt to the wound. A stolen gun being used to shoot one of our police officers.
San Antonio Police Chief William McMahon is telling me it's an emotional toll knowing that this preventable crime could have protected his officers.
In one case, 2 officers were shot, you all remember this, and injured while trying to apprehend a suspect wanted on multiple warrants. The gun used was stolen from a vehicle the night before.
Guns stolen out of a vehicle used in violent crimes. It's a pervasive issue locally that law enforcement is working to stop before it even happens. Last November, the Justice Department selecting San Antonio for its National Public Safety Partnership Program. Run by the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the program helped cities cut crime, solve more homicides, and improve community conditions.
We're seeing that most of our violent crime here locally is driven by guns that were stolen from a vehicle at some point. So until we're able to shut off that source of illegal guns hitting the streets, we're not going to be able to truly get a handle on the violent crime that continues to plague.
The emphasis? This crime is preventable.
Prevention is so important because they move so quick. Everybody here has talked about the fact that a car thief can be in and out of a vehicle in 15 seconds and be long gone before the car owner even realizes that he's had his vehicle broken into.
The district attorney adding it is difficult to catch and, of course, prosecute these criminals.
The number of car thieves that we are able to prosecute is not what it should be.
These local leaders making it clear, this effort is not about gun ownership. It is about being responsible gun owners.
3,000 guns in the hands of people who stole them. Most were stolen from vehicles parked in shopping centers or at hotels.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Well, check out TransGuide right now. We're going to go to 410 and Blanco, which is usually a busy area. Especially so right now, which you see the access road off 410 and then the entrance ramp at 410 and Blanco. I believe these are the westbound lanes we're looking at as you head towards I-10. Very slow going, but no major traffic accidents to tell you about at this hour.
And the good news is no weather issues out there for any evening plans, except maybe a little bit of a breeze, but not nearly as windy as what we saw earlier this week. Temperatures today, we've seen plenty of sunshine. They've warmed up because of that, even warmer than what we saw yesterday. Just shy of 70 degrees over in Eagle Pass, 65 in Leon Springs. 60s have been the theme in and around the San Antonio area, except for Lavernia, 71 over there in northern Wilson County. A lot to unpack in the forecast as we look ahead in the coming days. Tomorrow, some patchy morning fog, sunshine in the afternoon, but a cold front moves in tomorrow night and early Friday. Friday is going to be very windy. Behind that boundary, gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour will be possible. And then the elephant in the room, early next week, an Arctic cold front slated to move in. Hard freezes possible Monday and Tuesday mornings. We're going to get you all those details coming up after the break.
I'm Myra Arthur, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6. They've dropped it. The San Antonio City Council will no longer be considering a ceasefire resolution for the Israel-Hamas war. We talk with a council member about why he pulled his support from that measure, and with local activists about what comes next. Plus, a national nonprofit grades states every year on how they're tackling child sex trafficking. Texas has some things to be proud of, but a lot to work on as well. What that new report shows and how you can help with prevention. And mountain cedar is brutal right now. It will get worse before it gets better. So while it's here, we're answering some big questions like, can you build up immunity? Does drought make it worse? And what is mountain cedar really? It's not the answer you might expect. It's all on a KSAT Explains, and it's today at 6.
Thank you, Myra. All I know about mountain cedar is I hate it.
It makes you feel bad? That's why I said yesterday, I don't know that hate is strong enough.
Yeah.
Disdain,
Yeah, you need a
loathe.
pretty bold word for mountain cedar, because it's been affecting so many of us, and it's been high to even very high over the past several days. And as Myra even mentioned, it is likely going to get worse before it gets better. So we're going to talk all about it and really get you a breakdown later, coming up at 6 o'clock. But what I want to do right now, talk about all of the different variations in the forecast and weather changes that we have coming and headed our direction in the days ahead. So this morning, we dropped down to 30 degrees here in the Alamo City officially, and we had a brief light freeze. Tomorrow and Friday, though, not going to be nearly as cold. Mid-40s expected. The first of two cold fronts is expected to move in, though, early Friday, and that's going to allow some colder air to move in by Saturday morning. So a brief light freeze expected there again, slightly warmer on Sunday, but then here comes that Arctic cold front by Sunday night and early Monday morning. It's going to send in very cold air into the region. Hard freezes are expected Monday and into Tuesday. So I want to talk about that first, because that's what a lot of us are really looking ahead to when it comes to all the changes in the forecast. You can see where that Arctic air is bottled up right now. Negative 10 degrees in Prince Albert, negative 13 in Edmonton, up in Canada. It is not going to get that cold for us here in South Central Texas, but again, low 20s to maybe even some upper teens possible Monday and Tuesday mornings of next week. So here's that latest timeline. It looks to move into South Central Texas late Sunday night and early Monday. By Monday morning, around 23 degrees, the current forecast low for us here in town. It's going to be close. We could briefly get above freezing. We'll watch it for you into Monday afternoon in the mid-30s right now for those forecast highs. Even colder into Tuesday, and then we'll start to warm things up a bit more so as we head into the middle of next week. So here's what we know. Yes, that hard freeze is expected Monday and into Tuesday mornings. Less than 36 hours below freezing, though. So this is one of the reasons why this is going to be completely different than what we saw back in 2021. You will want to prepare, though, the pets, plants, people, and your pipes. Yes, we'll have those cold enough temperatures. You will need to take those precautions for your pipes there as well. In terms of a wintry mix, there is a very small chance. We'll be monitoring it for you. If we do find anything, it would be early Monday morning. But as of right now, that's looking very unlikely. Of course, we'll continue to keep you posted on all of our platforms as we get a clearer picture of that in the days ahead. So all of that's coming in on the second of two cold fronts moving into the region. By the way, Monday, some wind gusts upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour will be possible. So wind chills could be in the teens. That's something to keep in mind if you're heading out for the march Monday morning. So we'll keep eyes on that there as well. You will want to dress very warmly, but the higher wind gusts move in on Friday behind that first front. Wind gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour will be possible. So all those precautions that you took for the gusty winds earlier this week, make sure that you do the same before we see those gusts pick up into Friday as well. As of right now, yeah, we've seen a little bit of a breeze, but winds not too bad out of the southwest at about 5 to 10, 67 degrees. By the way, tomorrow morning, because we're actually expecting a little bit more humidity to work into our southeastern counties, I do think some patchy dense fog will be possible. So that's something to keep in mind for the morning commute. We're going to start off around 44 degrees here in San Antonio, 61 at lunchtime. High temperatures topping off in the 70s, so a little bit warmer there. Then we see that next front move in, a brief light freeze possible into early Saturday. The rest of the weekend looking pretty nice with plenty of sunshine, but make sure you carve out some time over the next several days to take all those winterized precautions around your house, because we'll need it into early next week, guys.
Got to find that parka.
Yes.
Gonna need it.
Yeah. All right. So if there's 2 games the Spurs better win, they better beat the Pistons.
You know, and it's totally Spurs' advantage tonight because Detroit played last night, and they're also down their leading scorer. So come on, Spurs, you got to get this one tonight. And they're also well rested. And Glenn Mangold, he's going from a unicorn to a button coming up. The Spurs will wrap up their short 2-game road trip tonight at the Detroit Pistons in a battle of last-place teams. Detroit is bringing it up the rear in the Eastern Conference, the Spurs in the West. Now, the last time we saw the Silver and Black playing was Sunday afternoon when they lost at the Cleveland Cavaliers 117-115 for their 5th straight loss. Now, the Spurs are well-rested, and they say ready to go.
We feel good. Like you said, no, we had a 2 days off, had a good practice day, and had a 1 day off. We feel rested. So I think that tonight's game is going to be really important. So we have all the energy that we need, and we're just going to come out and try to win the game tonight.
Detroit is down their leading scorer, Cade Cunningham, for the next 7 to 10 days with a left knee sprain. Now, the Pistons were hosting the Kings last night, and Detroit led by as many as 20 points in the first quarter, but the Kings dominated the second and fourth quarters to come back and beat Detroit basketball by 21 points, 131-110.
We have not been able to handle when we get off to a good start or we're playing well when teams change up their defensive scheme or the physicality of the game. We just haven't been able to handle that, and that's the growth of our team right now in that environment, that category. It's important that we get over this hump because that's what teams are going to do. Nobody's going to change.
Pistons and Spurs will play tonight at 6 in Detroit, and it looks like all the Spurs are good to go except Zach Collins, who's still out with a right ankle sprain. Earlier this afternoon, Central Catholic High School named Glenn Mangold its new head football coach. Mangold has 34 years coaching experience and for the past decade served as head football coach and boys athletic coordinator at New Braunfels High School. He informed the Unicorns today he was stepping down from public school coaching, which was not an easy thing to do.
This morning it was very, very difficult. Talking to the coaches. A lot of those coaches were with me all 10 years, but also the players. Telling them that I was moving on is difficult. But they're in good hands at New Braunfels, and they will continue to do great things at New Braunfels.
And Central's in good hands with Coach Mangold, and it's also being reported in college football that Alabama head coach Nick Saban is set to retire. I believe he won, 7 national championships?
Yeah, 6 at Alabama and 1.
That other team.
The other team.
Ursula knows. LSU for the
LSU, yep.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
All right, patchy morning fog expected for the AM commute first thing tomorrow. After that breaks up and clears on out of here. 74 degrees, the high temperature. The first of 2 cold fronts moves in tomorrow night, early Friday. Very windy on Friday as we wrap up the work week. Then, of course, winterize your home. Take those precautions into this weekend ahead of that Arctic air that looks to move in early next week with a few mornings of hard freezes.
Thank you, Mia. And thank you for watching the News at 5.
World News up next. We'll see you back here at 6.